So today we're going to continue on with our solving systems of equations lesson. This time we're going to do our second type of problem. Mr. Palacios already showed you how to do type 1. In this type, when you're looking at your two equations, only one of the equations has the variables on opposite sides. So we're going to go ahead and double check that over here with my sample problem. If I'm looking, this one equation right up here has the variables on opposite sides. The second one does not, so I know that I'm doing type 2 style problem. Okay. The very first thing you want to do is start with the equation where the variables are on opposite sides. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this equation down. 3x plus 6 equals 3y. Next step, I want to solve for one of the variables. Here's your big hint. If one side has no constant, you want to pick the variable on that side. So if I'm looking at my problem right here, this side is the only side of the equal sign that does not have a constant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for y. In order to solve for y, I'm going to do my opposite operation. So it's 3 times y, so I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. So I have y equals x plus 2. Now I have a much nicer looking equation. Next, I want to plug in my solution into my second equation. So if my second equation is right up here, 4x plus, instead of 2, and instead of y, I'm going to go ahead and plug this section in here, x plus 2 equals 16. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So my new equation looks like this. 2 times x, 2 times 2 equals 16. Next, you want to move all the variables to one side. Lucky me, they're both on one side, so all I have to do is combine them. So I've got 6x plus 4 equals 16. Then I want to move my all my constants to the other side. So I want all my constants on this opposite side right here. This is an addition, this is plus 4, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides. 6x equals 12. Next, I'm going to remove the coefficient using opposite operations. Again, this is 6 times x, so the opposite operation is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. X equals 2. If you have to, at step 7, you can simplify this if you have a fraction, but we don't have a fraction here, so I get to skip step 7, yay. The last step is to plug my solution back into the first equation. So if my first equation is 3x plus 6 equals 3y, I'm going to plug in 2 for x. So 3 times 2 plus 6 equals 3y. I've got 6 plus 6 equals 3y. 12 equals 3y. Divide both sides by 3. Y equals 4. So your solution to the equations are x equals 2 and y equals 4.